My name is Marcus Webb. I'm 28 years old, and I work the graveyard shift as a housekeeper at the Grandview Hotel in downtown Seattle. But one night, one single conversation I overheard shattered everything I thought I knew about this place. That night, my manager, hotel owner Victor Kane, was on his phone near the executive lounge. He glanced at me as I passed with my cleaning cart, flashed that polished smile of his, and said, "Heading out late tonight, Marcus. Lock up the West Wing for me, will you?" But behind that smile, there was something cold. Something I'd been too afraid to see for 3 years. And that night, what started as a routine shift in an empty corridor, was about to crack open a door I should have left sealed. The Grandview wasn't just any hotel. It was one of those old money establishments, the kind with marble floors that echoed your footsteps, crystal chandeliers that caught every shadow, and guests who wore watches worth more than my annual salary. I'd been cleaning these halls since I was 25. I knew every stain on every carpet, every loose tile in every bathroom. I was invisible here. The guy who made things pristine while everyone else slept. But there was one floor I rarely worked. The 7th floor. It wasn't that it was off limits, exactly. It's just that most of the rooms up there were long-term leases, executive suites, private residences. You didn't get called up there unless something specific needed attention. So when my radio crackled at 11:47 p.m. and Gloria's voice came through, sharp, clipped, tense, I knew something was wrong. Marcus. 7th floor. Room 237. Immediate turnaround. I stared at the radio. Room 237. I'd cleaned it maybe twice in 3 years. It was leased by some reclusive businessman. No one ever saw him. Housekeeping was instructed to leave his room alone unless he specifically requested service. "Copy that," I said into the radio, my voice steady even though my pulse wasn't. I rolled my cart toward the service elevator, the wheels squeaking against the polished marble. The lobby was deserted except for the night concierge, who didn't even glance up from his screen as I passed. The elevator doors slid shut. The ascent was slow. Too slow. I watched the numbers tick upward, 3, 4, 5. When the doors opened on 7, the hallway stretched out before me like a throat. Thick burgundy carpet. Dim sconces casting pools of amber light. Silence so complete I could hear the hum of the ice machine 3 doors down. Room 237 was at the far end. I pushed the cart forward, my footsteps muffled, my breathing loud in my ears. When I reached the door, I noticed it immediately. It was open. Not wide. Just cracked. An inch, maybe 2. A sliver of darkness beyond. I knocked softly. Housekeeping. No answer. I knocked again, louder this time. Hello? Housekeeping. Still nothing. I should have called Gloria. Should have backed away and let someone else handle it. But I didn't. I pushed the door open. The suite was wrecked. Furniture overturned. Curtains torn from the rods. A lamp shattered on the floor, glass glittering under the entry light. The bed was stripped, sheets tangled in a heap near the bathroom door. And in the center of the room, on the overturned coffee table, was a child's drawing. I stepped closer, my shoes crunching on broken glass. The drawing was crude, done in crayon, the kind a 4-year-old might make. It showed a small figure standing next to a much larger one. The larger figure was colored entirely in black. No features. Just a towering shadow. Beneath it, in shaky handwriting, the dark man. My skin went cold. I turned slowly, scanning the room. That's when I saw the other door, the one leading to the adjoining suite. It was open too, just a crack. And from beyond it came a sound. A child's whimper. I froze. There shouldn't be a child up here. The 7th floor was adults only, long-term corporate leases, no families. Hello? I called out, my voice barely above a whisper. The whimpering stopped. I moved toward the door, my hand trembling as I pushed it open. The adjoining suite was dimmer. The curtains were drawn, and the only light came from a small lamp in the corner. The room smelled faintly of lavender and something else, something metallic. In the corner, curled up on the floor beneath a blanket, was a little girl. She couldn't have been more than 5. Dark hair, pale skin, wide eyes that locked onto mine the moment I stepped inside. Hey, I said softly, crouching down. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. What's your name? She stared at me for a long moment. Then, in a voice so quiet I almost didn't hear it, Lily. Lily, I repeated. That's a pretty name. Are you here with your parents? She shook her head. Where are they? She didn't answer. Instead, she pointed toward the window. I followed her gaze. The curtains were drawn, but through a gap I could see the reflection of the room behind me, and in that reflection, just for a split second, I saw a figure. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Standing in the doorway. I spun around. No one was there. My heart hammered against my ribs. Lily, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. Who brought you here? She looked down at her hands. The dark man. The words hit me like ice water. Before I could respond, my radio crackled. Gloria's voice, distorted by static. Marcus, where are you? We need you back down in the lobby. Now. I grabbed the radio. I'm on 7. There's a child up here. Marcus, listen to me. Leave. Right now. Something in her tone made my blood freeze. What's going on? Just leave the floor. I'm sending security. The line went dead. I looked back at Lily. She was staring at the doorway again, her eyes wide with terror. He's coming, she whispered. And then the lights went out. The entire suite plunged into darkness. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers clumsy, my breath coming in short gasps. The screen lit up, casting a weak glow across the room. Lily was gone. Lily? No answer. I swung the light toward the door. A shadow moved in the hallway. Not walked. Moved. It was too tall to be human, too fluid, like smoke given form. It slid along the wall, bending and stretching, and for just a moment I saw the outline of a face, angular, hollow, wrong. I bolted. Out the door, down the hallway, my phone clutched in one hand, my breath ragged and loud. Behind me, I heard it, footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoing off the walls. I slammed into the stairwell door and nearly fell down the first flight of steps. My phone light flickered. I didn't stop. I kept going, floor after floor, until I burst into the lobby. Gloria was there, flanked by 2 security guards. Her face was pale. Where is she? I gasped. Who? The girl. Lily. She was in 237. Gloria's expression shifted. Something between fear and resignation. Marcus, she said slowly. There's no child registered on the 7th floor. I saw her. She was right there. One of the guards stepped forward. "We'll check the room. You need to come with us." They led me back to the elevator. The ride up felt like descending into a grave. When we reached the 7th floor, the hallway was empty. The lights were back on. Room 237's door was closed. The guard swiped his keycard and pushed it open. The suite was pristine. No overturned furniture. No shattered glass. No drawings. It looked like it had never been touched. I stood there, staring, my mind fracturing. I don't understand. It was destroyed. There was a girl. Gloria put a hand on my shoulder. "Marcus. You've been working doubles all week. You're exhausted. Maybe you saw something that wasn't there." But I knew what I'd seen. And as we turned to leave, I glanced back one last time. On the coffee table, barely visible in the lamplight, was a single crayon. Red. The next day, I couldn't let it go. I searched the hotel records. Guest logs. Security footage. Anything that might explain what happened. Nothing. Room 237 had been vacant for 3 days. No reservations. No check-ins. But then I found something. Buried in an old file cabinet in the basement storage room, a folder marked Incident Reports, 2019. Inside was a police report. A woman named Claire Donovan had been a guest at the Grandview 5 years ago. She'd been found dead in room 237. Cause of death, inconclusive. No signs of foul play, no suicide note. Just gone. She'd had a daughter. A 5-year-old girl named Lily. The daughter had disappeared the same night. Never found. I sat there in the dim basement, the folder shaking in my hands. That night, I went back to the 7th floor. I don't know why. Maybe I needed proof. Maybe I needed to know I wasn't losing my mind. I stood outside room 237, my hand hovering over the keycard reader. Then I heard it. From inside the room. A child's voice singing softly. "Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies." I swiped the card. The door clicked open. The suite was dark. But in the far corner, near the window, I saw her. Lily. She was facing away from me, her small silhouette outlined by the city lights beyond the glass. "Lily?" I whispered. She stopped singing. Slowly, she turned around. And I saw her face. Pale. Hollow. Eyes like black glass. "You shouldn't be here," she said. Before I could respond, the door slammed shut behind me. The locks engaged with a heavy clunk. I was trapped. And from the shadows in the corner of the room, something else moved. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Faceless. I couldn't breathe. The dark figure stood motionless in the corner, a mass of shadow that seemed to absorb the light around it. Lily remained by the window, her hollow eyes fixed on me with an expression I couldn't read, not quite malice, not quite sadness. Something in between. "Lily," I said, my voice cracking. "I want to help you." She tilted her head, the gesture eerily adult. "No one can help me." The shadow moved. Not walked, shifted, like smoke reorganizing itself. It was closer now, near the overturned armchair I distinctly remembered being upright moments ago. My back pressed against the door. The handle wouldn't budge. My keycard was useless. "What do you want?" I asked, directing the question at both of them. Lily's voice came out flat, rehearsed. He wants you to remember. Remember what? She pointed at me with one pale finger. What you forgot. The shadow surged forward. I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing for impact. And then I was somewhere else. The transition was instant and disorienting. I was no longer in room 237. I was in the hotel basement. The old section, past the laundry facilities and storage areas, where the original foundation still showed, exposed brick and rusted pipes from when the Grandview was built in 1924. But this wasn't my memory. I'd never been this deep before. I was watching myself from outside my body. A younger version of me, maybe 23, 24, wearing the same gray uniform, pushing a cart down a narrow corridor I didn't recognize. The younger me stopped at a door marked "Authorized Personnel Only." He looked around nervously. Then he pulled out a keycard, not his own, and swiped it. The door opened. Inside was a room full of filing cabinets and old boxes. Security footage monitors lined one wall, their screens dark. The younger me moved to a specific cabinet, pulled out a folder, and began reading. His face went white. He pulled out his phone and started taking pictures of the documents. Then footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. The younger me panicked, shoved the folder back, and bolted toward a second door at the rear of the room, an emergency exit leading to the subbasement. But as he ran, something fell from his pocket. An employee ID badge. My badge. The vision dissolved. I gasped, stumbling backward into the present. I was back in room 237. The shadow was gone. So was Lily. But on the coffee table, where the red crayon had been, there was now a keycard. Old, yellowed with age. The magnetic stripe faded. And written on it in faded Sharpie, "Sublevel access." My hands trembled as I picked it up. I didn't remember any of what I'd just seen. That younger version of me, breaking into restricted areas, photographing documents, it was like watching a stranger. But I knew it was real. Because I recognized the badge that had fallen. I'd lost my employee ID 5 years ago, shortly after I started working here. I'd reported it missing and gotten a replacement. They told me it had probably just slipped out of my pocket somewhere. But what if it hadn't? What if someone had made me forget? I left room 237 and headed straight for the basement. It was 2:47 a.m. The hotel was silent except for the distant hum of the HVAC system and the occasional creak of settling wood. I took the service elevator down, then descended the concrete stairs past the laundry room, past the storage areas, until I reached the section I'd seen in the vision. The corridor was narrower than I remembered. Older. The fluorescent lights flickered irregularly, casting strobing shadows. At the end was the door, "Authorized Personnel Only." I swiped the yellowed keycard. Nothing happened. I tried again. The lock clicked. The door opened. The room beyond was exactly as I'd seen it, filing cabinets, dusty boxes, dead monitors. But there was something new, a laptop on the desk, its screen glowing faintly. Someone had been here recently. I approached cautiously. The laptop was open to a video file, paused mid-frame. The timestamp read, March 15th, 2019, 11:34 p.m. The night Claire Donovan died. I hit play. The footage was from a hallway camera on the 7th floor. I watched as a woman, Claire, emerged from room 237, holding a small girl by the hand. Lily. They walked quickly toward the elevator. Claire kept looking over her shoulder, her expression terrified. Then, at the edge of the frame, a figure appeared. Tall. Dark suit. But his face was obscured by the camera angle. He moved toward them with disturbing speed. Claire pulled Lily into the stairwell. The figure followed. The video cut to the stairwell camera. What I saw next made my blood run cold. Claire and Lily were descending, but the figure wasn't chasing them anymore. He was just standing on the landing above, watching. Waiting. And then Claire stopped. She turned around and walked back up the stairs. Toward him. Lily tried to pull her away, crying, but Claire's expression was blank. Distant. Like she was sleepwalking. The figure extended a hand. Claire took it. They walked back up together, leaving Lily alone on the stairs, screaming. The video ended. I sat there, stunned. What had I just witnessed? It looked like Claire had been compelled somehow, like she'd lost control of her own body. I scrolled through the laptop's files. There were dozens of videos, all from different dates, all showing similar incidents. Guests behaving strangely. Walking into restricted areas. Standing motionless in hallways for hours. And in every single one, somewhere in the frame, was the same figure. Tall. Dark suit. Face always obscured. I found a text document titled Project Somnus. I opened it. The Grandview Hotel serves as a testing facility for advanced hypnotic suggestion and memory manipulation techniques. Subjects are exposed to low-frequency audio signals embedded in the building's HVAC system, designed to induce suggestible trance states. Primary objective: identify and recruit individuals with high susceptibility for corporate espionage and intelligence operations. Secondary objective: eliminate witnesses and loose ends through controlled accidents and induced suicides. Project Administrator, Victor Kane. Status, ongoing. My vision blurred. Victor Kane. My boss. The smiling, charming owner of the Grandview Hotel. He'd been running human experiments for years. And I'd been one of his subjects. That's why I didn't remember breaking into this room 5 years ago. That's why my badge had disappeared. They'd used their techniques on me, made me forget, turned me into another obedient employee who asked no questions. But something had gone wrong. Claire Donovan had figured it out. She'd tried to escape with her daughter. They'd stopped her. And Lily. My stomach turned. What had they done to Lily? A sound behind me. I spun around. Victor Kane stood in the doorway, flanked by 2 men I didn't recognize. Security contractors, probably. The kind who didn't ask questions. Marcus, Victor said, his voice still carrying that infuriating warmth. You've always been curious. I admired that about you. But curiosity has a price. I backed against the desk. You killed Claire Donovan. Claire was unstable. She threatened to expose us. We simply helped her reach a peaceful resolution. And Lily? Victor's smile faltered. Just for a moment. Lily was a complication. We tried to place her in foster care, but she kept talking about what she'd seen. We couldn't risk it. You killed a child. We did what was necessary. Rage flooded through me. Where is she? What did you do with her body? Victor gestured to the 2 men. They moved forward. You're going to forget this conversation, Marcus. Just like you forgot the last time. And then you're going to go back to work like none of this ever happened. The men grabbed my arms. One of them pulled out a syringe. I thrashed, kicked, screamed, but they were stronger. The needle pierced my skin. Cold spread through my veins. My vision darkened. The last thing I saw was Victor's face, that practiced smile returning. "Sleep well, Marcus." When I woke up, I was in my apartment. Sunlight streamed through the windows. My alarm was blaring. 6 a.m. I sat up, disoriented. My head throbbed. My arm ached where the needle had gone in, but there was no mark. Had it been a dream? I checked my phone. Nothing unusual. A text from Gloria confirming my shift tonight. A reminder about rent. I stumbled to the bathroom and splashed water on my face. In the mirror, I looked exhausted. Hollowed out. But my eyes were clear. And I remembered everything. They'd made a mistake. Whatever they'd injected me with hadn't worked. The memories were still there: Claire, Lily, the basement, Victor's confession. All of it. I had 8 hours before my next shift. 8 hours to figure out how to expose them without getting killed. I grabbed my laptop and started researching. Project Somnus. Victor Kane. The Grandview's ownership history. That's when I found the property records. The Grandview Hotel had been built on the site of an older building, the Grandview Sanatorium, a psychiatric facility that operated from 1924 to 1958. It had been shut down after a scandal involving unethical experiments on patients. Lobotomies. Electroshock therapy. Sensory deprivation. The head doctor's name was Dr. Edmund Kane, Victor's grandfather. The experiments had never stopped. They'd just moved underground. Literally. I found news articles from the 1950s. Patients who'd disappeared. Families who'd stopped asking questions after receiving payouts. And I found one more thing. A floor plan of the original sanatorium. There was a sub-basement level that didn't exist on the current hotel blueprints. A section that had been sealed off and forgotten. Or deliberately hidden. If they'd killed Lily, that's where her body would be. I returned to the Grandview at 10 p.m., hours before my shift. The lobby was quiet. The night concierge was different from usual, probably one of Victor's people, watching for me. I used the service entrance instead, the one the delivery trucks used. My old keycard still worked. I made my way to the basement, past the laundry, past the storage rooms, to the door marked authorized personnel only. The yellowed keycard was still in my pocket. I swiped it. The door opened. But this time, I wasn't looking for files. I was looking for the sealed entrance to the subbasement. I found it behind a false wall panel, concealed behind a row of filing cabinets. It took 10 minutes to shift them aside, but eventually I revealed a heavy steel door with a rusted padlock. I smashed the lock with a fire extinguisher. The door groaned open. A staircase descended into darkness. The air that wafted up was cold and stale, tinged with something chemical. Formaldehyde, maybe. I turned on my phone's flashlight and started down. The stairs went deeper than they should have. 50 steps. 70. 100. Finally, I reached the bottom. The subbasement was a maze of corridors lined with old examination rooms. Rusted gurneys. Overturned cabinets. Scattered papers yellowed with age, and at the far end, a room with a newer door. Steel. Modern lock. Someone had been using this place recently. I tried my keycard. It worked. The door opened. Inside was a small, windowless chamber. Clinical. Sterile. In the center was a hospital bed. And on the bed, preserved in some kind of stasis pod, was Lily. She looked exactly as I'd seen her, pale skin, dark hair, eyes closed. She wasn't moving. Wasn't breathing. But she wasn't decayed either. She'd been kept here. Frozen. Hidden. Why? A voice behind me, because she's the key. I spun around. Standing in the doorway was a woman I'd never seen before. Mid-30s. White lab coat. Tired eyes. Who are you? I demanded. Dr. Sarah Chen. I worked for Victor until 6 months ago. She stepped into the room. Lily isn't dead, Marcus. She's in a medically induced coma. Why? Because she's like you. One of the successful subjects. Her susceptibility levels were off the charts. Victor wanted to study her, see if he could replicate her condition. She's a child. I know. Dr. Chen's voice cracked. That's why I left. That's why I've been trying to wake her up. She moved to the pod and began adjusting controls on a nearby monitor. If we can revive her, she can testify. She saw everything. She's the only witness who can't be discredited or silenced. They'll kill us both. Probably. She looked at me. But isn't that better than letting them win? I thought of Claire. Of all the other victims over the years. Of everyone who'd been manipulated, erased, silenced. Do it. Dr. Chen entered a code. The pod hissed, releasing pressure. Warm air flooded the chamber as the temperature began to rise. Lily's eyelids fluttered. And then, slowly, they opened. Her eyes locked onto mine. You came back, she whispered. Lily's eyes were different now. Not hollow. Not empty. They were sharp, aware, and filled with something that looked almost like recognition, as if she'd been waiting for this moment for 5 years. Dr. Chen moved quickly, checking vitals on the monitor, adjusting 4 lines. Her body's responding well. Heart rate normalizing. Brain activity increasing. She should be fully conscious in a few minutes. I knelt beside the pod. Lily, can you hear me? She blinked slowly, her small hand reaching toward mine. When our fingers touched, her skin was ice cold. He's coming, she whispered. The dark man. He knows you're here. A chill ran down my spine. Who is he, Lily? Who is the dark man? Before she could answer, the lights flickered. Dr. Chen looked up sharply. That's not good. The backup generators shouldn't be affected by. The lights went out completely. My phone's flashlight was the only illumination, casting wild shadows across the medical equipment and concrete walls. We need to move her, Dr. Chen said urgently. If Victor's people know we're down here. A sound echoed through the corridor outside. Footsteps. Multiple people, moving with purpose. Too late, I muttered. Is there another way out? Dr. Chen shook her head. This was the old isolation wing. There's only one entrance. Then we make a stand. I helped Lily sit up. She was weak, her legs unsteady after years in the pod, but she was conscious. Alert. There's something you need to know, she said, her voice stronger now. About my mother. About what really happened. Lily, we don't have time. You need to know. Her eyes flashed with intensity. My mother didn't just discover Project Somnus. She was part of it. I froze. What? She was a researcher. Dr. Claire Donovan. She helped Victor develop the frequency technology. But when she realized what they were going to use it for, she tried to stop them. Dr. Chen's face went pale. I knew Claire. She trained me when I first started here. She said she'd been working on therapeutic applications, treating PTSD, addiction. She never mentioned? Because she was ashamed, Lily interrupted. She knew she'd created something dangerous. And when Victor started using it on guests, on employees, she couldn't live with it anymore. The footsteps were closer now. Voices echoed in the stairwell. So she tried to run, I said. With you. Lily nodded. But Victor had already used the frequencies on her. He could control her. Make her come back. Make her. Her voice broke. Make her walk into that room and never wake up. Induced suicide, Dr. Chen whispered. God, I should have seen it. The autopsy said natural causes, but her brain chemistry was completely altered. I thought it was stress, but it was murder, I finished. The door handle rattled. A voice called out, smooth and familiar. Marcus. Dr. Chen. I know you're in there. Open the door and we can discuss this reasonably. Victor Kane. I looked at Dr. Chen. She was pulling equipment from a cabinet, assembling something I didn't recognize. What are you doing? Claire left notes, she said, working quickly. Before she died, she created a failsafe. A counter-frequency that could disrupt the Somnus system. I've been trying to build it for months. It's not perfect, but... She held up a small device, looked like a modified Bluetooth speaker with jury-rigged circuits. If we can get this close enough to the main HVAC system, it'll broadcast the counter-frequency throughout the entire hotel. Everyone who's been affected will start to remember. All of it. How close? Control room. Mechanical level. 3 floors up. The door shuddered. They were forcing it. I made a decision. Give it to me. I'll get it there. Marcus, you'll never. Lily needs you here. If something happens to me, you can still get her out, testify, expose everything. But I'm the only one who can navigate this place without being seen. Dr. Chen hesitated, then pressed the device into my hands. There's a switch on the side. Flip it when you reach the control room. It'll activate automatically. How long will it take? 3 minutes to reach full power. You'll know it's working when you hear the hum change in the ventilation system. The door buckled. Metal screeched against concrete. Go. Dr. Chen shoved me toward a ventilation grate in the corner. Maintenance shaft. It connects to the main system. I pried the grate open. The shaft beyond was narrow, dark, barely wide enough for my shoulders. Behind me, Lily's voice rang out, Marcus. I turned. She was standing now, unsteady but determined. The dark man isn't real. He's just a manifestation of the frequency, a collective hallucination they use to keep people scared, compliant. But the fear he represents, that's real. That's what you have to overcome. The door burst open. Victor entered with 4 security contractors, all armed with tasers. Run! Dr. Chen screamed. I dove into the shaft. The maintenance tunnel was a nightmare, tight, filthy, filled with exposed wiring and sharp edges. I crawled on my elbows, dragging myself forward, the device clutched against my chest. Behind me, I heard Victor's voice echoing through the grate. Seal the exits. He can't have gone far. My phone was in my pocket, useless in the confined space. I navigated by touch, following the slight airflow that indicated the direction of the HVAC system. The shaft branched. I chose right, kept moving. My uniform tore on a piece of exposed metal. Blood ran down my arm, but I couldn't stop. After what felt like an eternity, I reached a wider junction. I could hear the rumble of machinery, the hotel's mechanical heart. I was close. I dropped down into a larger chamber, landing hard on a concrete floor. The control room was ahead, visible through a wire mesh window. Banks of equipment monitored every system in the building: electrical, plumbing, climate control. And there, mounted on the wall, was the HVAC master control panel. I ran toward it. And froze. Standing between me and the control room was a figure. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Dressed in a dark suit. The Dark Man. Even knowing he wasn't real, even understanding he was just a hallucination induced by subsonic frequencies, my body reacted with primal terror. My heart hammered. My hands shook. He tilted his head, and though he had no face, I felt him watching me. "You can't stop this," a voice seemed to say, though his mouth didn't move. "You're one of us now. You've always been one of us." I thought of Lily. Of Claire. Of everyone Victor had destroyed. "No," I said aloud. "I'm not." I charged forward. The figure didn't move. I expected him to grab me, to fight back, but as I passed through the space where he stood, there was nothing. Just air. He'd never been there at all. I burst into the control room and found the HVAC panel. Following Dr. Chen's instructions, I mounted the device next to the main frequency generator, a black box I'd never noticed before, humming with a sound just below human hearing. I flipped the switch. The device beeped. A small LED began to pulse. And then I heard it, the change in the ventilation system. The normal white noise of forced air began to warp, to modulate, taking on a rhythmic quality. 3 minutes. I just had to hold this position for 3 minutes. They found me in 2. Victor entered with his contractors, moving with tactical precision. They surrounded me, tasers raised. "Clever," Victor said, spotting the device. "Claire's failsafe. She always was brilliant. But ultimately naive." He gestured to one of his men. "Shut it down." "Don't," I said. "It's already broadcasting. In 60 seconds, everyone in this hotel is going to remember what you've done to them. And in 60 seconds, you'll be unconscious," Victor replied calmly. "We'll evacuate the building, claim a gas leak, and by morning this will all be forgotten." Again. He nodded to his men. They fired. The taser probes hit me in the chest. Electricity coursed through my body, every muscle seizing. I collapsed, convulsing, the world reducing to white-hot agony. But I could still hear the device humming. Still hear the frequency changing. 50 seconds. Victor crouched beside me. "You were always too curious, Marcus. That's why we could never fully control you. Your mind kept fighting back, creating gaps in the conditioning. It's impressive, really. But ultimately futile." 40 seconds. One of the contractors approached the device, reaching to disconnect it. And suddenly stopped. His hand trembled. His eyes went wide. "Sir," he said, his voice shaking. I remember. What we did to that family on the 4th floor. We made them. Shut up, Victor snapped. But it was too late. The other contractors were experiencing it too. Memories flooding back. Faces going pale with horror as they realized what they'd been part of. 30 seconds. Throughout the hotel, I knew the same thing was happening. Guests sitting up in bed, suddenly remembering blackout periods. Employees pausing mid-task, their conditioned behaviors falling away like shattered glass. Victor's empire was crumbling. He reached for the device himself. And Dr. Chen's voice rang out, "Touch it and I'll release everything to the press." She stood in the doorway, phone raised, camera recording. Behind her, supported but walking, was Lily. "I've been streaming to 3 different news outlets," Dr. Chen continued. "Everything that's happened in the last 10 minutes. Everything you've said. It's already gone viral." Victor's perfect composure finally cracked. For the first time since I'd known him, he looked genuinely afraid. 20 seconds. "You've destroyed years of research," he said hoarsely. "Good," Dr. Chen replied. "You've ruined me." "Good." 10 seconds. Victor looked at me, still convulsing on the floor. "This isn't over. You think the authorities will care? You think anyone will believe?" The device emitted a final, resonant tone. And throughout the Grandview Hotel, 643 people simultaneously remembered everything. The aftermath was chaos. Guests poured into the lobby, demanding answers. Some were crying. Others were furious. 2 elderly couples who'd been staying at the hotel for months realized they'd been subjected to months of manipulation, their retirement savings slowly drained through suggested investments. A businessman remembered signing contracts he'd never wanted. A woman remembered approving an experimental treatment for her daughter that had left the girl permanently damaged. The police arrived within 20 minutes. Then the FBI. Then the media. Victor Kane was arrested at 4:47 a.m., let out in handcuffs while cameras flashed and reporters shouted questions. His contractors followed, one by one, their faces hollow with the weight of their recovered memories. Dr. Chen gave a statement that lasted 3 hours, detailing everything she knew about Project Somnus. Lily sat in the back of an ambulance, wrapped in a blanket, clutching a stuffed rabbit someone had found in the hotel gift shop. She'd been taken into protective custody, but she'd asked to see me before they took her to the hospital. "Thank you," she said when I approached. "You helped save yourself," I replied. "You stayed strong. My mom would be proud." Her eyes glistened. She tried so hard to stop him. She did stop him. Through you. Through the evidence she left behind. Lily smiled, the first real smile I'd seen from her. "Will you visit me? After everything is settled?" "Every week," I promised. "If you want me to." "I'd like that." They drove her away as dawn broke over Seattle. The investigation took months. They found 17 bodies in the sealed sections of the subbasement, victims from over the years who'd become too problematic, too aware. Claire Donovan wasn't among them. Her death had been officially ruled natural causes, and Victor had been careful to leave no physical evidence. But the testimony of hundreds of witnesses, combined with the recovered files and Dr. Chen's recordings, was enough. Victor Kane was convicted of 12 counts of murder, 43 counts of kidnapping, and hundreds of counts of assault, fraud, and human experimentation. He was sentenced to life without parole. The Grandview Hotel was shut down permanently. The building stood empty for a year before being demolished. They said it was structural concerns, but everyone knew the real reason: no one wanted to stay in a place with that much darkness in its walls. I didn't go back to housekeeping. Instead, I enrolled in community college. Psychology major. I figured if I'd been subjected to that kind of manipulation and survived, maybe I could help others do the same. Dr. Chen opened a clinic specializing in treating trauma from psychological manipulation. I volunteered there on weekends. Lily was adopted by a kind family in Oregon. True to my word, I drove down to visit her every week. We'd have lunch, talk about school, about her friends, about normal things. Sometimes she still had nightmares about the dark man. But less and less frequently. Because she understood now what I'd learned in that mechanical room. The dark man had never been real. The real monsters were human. Men like Victor Kane, who'd used fear and technology to steal people's autonomy, their memories, their lives. But humans could also be overcome. And once you saw them for what they really were, once you remembered, they lost their power. 1 year after the Grandview closed, I received a package. No return address. Just a small box wrapped in brown paper. Inside was a red crayon and a folded piece of paper. I unfolded it. It was a drawing, childlike but more skilled than before. It showed a man and a little girl standing in sunshine, both smiling. No shadows. No dark figures. At the bottom, in careful handwriting, "Thank you for making me remember the light. Lily." I pinned it to my refrigerator, where I saw it every morning. A reminder that even in the darkest places, even when powerful people tried to erase the truth, the light could still break through. You just had to be brave enough to remember it. I still think about the Grandview sometimes. About the people who walked those halls before me, trapped in Victor's web. About Claire Donovan, brilliant and flawed, who'd created a monster and died trying to stop it. About all the victims who never got to remember. But mostly, I think about Lily. About a 5-year-old girl who'd endured 5 years in a medically induced coma, preserved like a specimen, kept alive only because she was useful for study. And how she'd still found the strength to wake up, to testify, to help bring down the man who'd killed her mother. If she could do that, I figured, the rest of us had no excuse. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear the hum. That subsonic frequency just below the range of hearing, the one that had controlled so many people for so long. But now I know it for what it is, just sound. Just air vibrating at a certain frequency. It has no power unless you give it power. And I never will again. 3 years later, I graduated with my psychology degree. Dr. Chen attended the ceremony, along with Lily and her adoptive parents. Afterward, we went out for dinner at a small Italian place downtown. Lily was 12 now, bright and funny and surprisingly well-adjusted considering everything she'd been through. Over dessert, she asked me something I'd never expected. "Do you think there are other places like the Grandview?" I thought about it carefully. Probably. People in power have been experimenting on other people since the beginning of time. The technology changes, but the impulse doesn't. Then someone should stop them, she said simply. Someone should, I agreed. She looked at me with those sharp eyes, not hollow anymore, but clear and determined. When I grow up, I'm going to be a journalist. I'm going to investigate places like that. Expose people like Victor Kane. Dr. Chen smiled. I think you'd be excellent at that. Will you help me? Lily asked me. I thought of all the nights I'd spent cleaning hotel rooms, invisible and unnoticed. Of how that invisibility had let me see things others missed. Yes, I said. I will. And we did. But that's another story. For now, this one has an ending. Not a perfect one, too many people had suffered, too many lives had been destroyed for that. But an ending where the truth came out. Where the guilty were punished. Where a little girl got to grow up. And where a housekeeper who'd been conditioned to forget learned how to remember, and in remembering, found his purpose. The Grandview Hotel is gone now. They built a park on the site. Trees and grass where the lobby used to be. A playground where room 237 once stood. Children play there now, laughing and running, completely unaware of what happened beneath their feet. And maybe that's how it should be. The darkness is sealed away. The frequencies are silenced. And the light, as always, has found a way through.